UFC Fight Night in UFC Vegas 62. Grasso versus Araujo takes place this weekend. And I'm gonna go through the full card breakdown, add in detailed predictions, starting with the early prelim opener of Mike Jackson versus Pete Rodriguez. Pete Rodriguez, I guess, will win this one. I do like Mike Jackson. I think he's quite trash, let's be real. Both of these guys aren't the greatest, but Pete Rodriguez, I think, has he's a bit more promising in terms of coming to fight and winning. Like, yeah, he beat not the best competition. Of course, he got destroyed badly by Jack Della Maddalena, but Della Maddalena is a really good fighter, and Pete Rodriguez took that one on very short notice. But he beat a 5-1 Roberto Pixley. He beat Jose Luis Rios. I don't know. But he hasn't fought a great competition, but he's fought in amateurs. And I do believe Mike Jackson won't win this. Could outpoint Pete Rodriguez from range, but the grappling will be involved. And Mike Jackson isn't good. Yeah, he beat Dean Barry. Yeah, he did beat Dean Barry. But I don't care. He's had a problem with the grappling. And yeah, he also beat CM Punk before the he did beat CM Punk before the roids came into place, or no, the USADA type thing. But or he was just on something, who knows. But he was getting destroyed by Dean Barry before the eye gouge, where he got disqualification. And I'm gonna go with them getting out grappled. He got destroyed by Mickey Gall. I'm gonna go for Pete Rodriguez getting this one done. First round, rear naked choke. Moving on up the card, CJ Vergara versus Tatsuro Tyra. I'm gonna be going with Tatsuro Tyra. Yeah, he's just way better technique-wise. I mean, CJ Vergara is tough, and yeah, he can go out there and maybe get it done. Yeah, he beat Clayton Rodriguez. We didn't really expect him to beat Clayton Rodriguez. But again, he didn't really beat Clayton Rodriguez. He arguably should have lost that fight, rounds 1 and 3. But he won it close to 10 in the second round. And he did look good against Rodriguez, and Rodriguez himself is very good. But against Ode Osborne, makes it close. Osborne just got KO'd by Tyson Nam. I just don't see this one going well. He's good, CJ Vergara. He's a very good fighter. Just don't trust him to win this one. He's 31. Tatsuro Tyra, I think, is going to use his jiu-jitsu to get out of bad situations if he does go there and threaten a lot of stuff here in this fight. 22 years old, Tatsuro Tyra. Very good. Very promising. I mean, he beat Carlos Candelario. Looked impressive there. Didn't look the best, but it was his UFC debut. The jitters were there, and he's fighting Vergara in his second fight. And yeah, and also he's had a long layoff. Like, he had since, I want to say, he's had since May. He's had since May to June, July, August, September, October. Like, that's a solid 5 months there. Yeah, that's a solid 5 months right there. 5 to 6 months right there. So it's not like he's being active, but he's getting better as an athlete. And on the feet, Vergara doesn't have much power or anything. So I don't see. I think Tyra will use some range and the height here. So I'm gonna go Tatsuro Tyra, getting this one done. Moving on up the card, Piero Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. I kind of want to pick Sam Hughes, honestly, because Sam Hughes has been wrapping up some is wrapping up some good wins for herself. What's so good about Piero Rodriguez? Let's be real. What is good about her? She got taken down early by Kay Hansen, who's completely trash. Won the last 2 rounds, I understand. But Sam Hughes, I think Kay Hansen coming into that fight was, who cares? We'll see what happens. If I win, I lose. Who cares? I'll do what I always do. I'll just, whatever. Who cares? Sam Hughes, I think, wants to build a career out of herself. Like, I think she wants to actually be a good fighter. Like, at one point she lost to Tisha Torres, lost to Lima Lookboom, lost to Luana Pinheiro. I mean, against Pinheiro and Lookboom, kind of got picked at range, couldn't find the takedowns. Torres destroyed her, but Torres is really good and took that on short notice as well. But since then beat Stella Nunez, didn't look the best in that fight, but then looked really good against Elise Reed. And I think she can out-grapple Pierre Rodriguez here and get the win. I'm going to trust her to get this. Sam Hughes, Sam Page. I mean, the time is now 30 years old. Birthday's in June. So it sounds like she needs this now. She's young. And Pierre Rodriguez, I think, is, like, older as well. 29, but only a year in part. I'm going to go Sam Hughes getting this one done as an underdog. And I'm going to pick her to win this one. And yeah, she's an underdog here. I think she can win it. Trains at Fortis MMA. I'm going to trust I'm going to trust Sam Hughes to get this one done and take the O of Pierre Rodriguez. And let's say decision win. Pierre will be tough. Moving on up the card. Rafael Asansol versus Victor Henry. I'm going to go with Victor Henry. Victor Henry here. 100% here. I think Asansol's done. He's been a veteran, Asansol, and yeah, he's been in these fights. But I think he's done. I think the time's up. I mean, to be fair, like, he had he didn't look good against Simone. Got knocked out by Simone, which isn't a good look. Yeah, Simone landed a good right hook to an uppercut there. An uppercut to a right hook. But, he just doesn't look great in fights. He just looks old. Like, against Garbrandt, was arguably winning. I don't think he was, but got knocked out cold, you know? Got knocked out badly by Simone, you know? Sandhagen kind of just pieced him up at range for 3 rounds, picked him apart. Like, Moraes beat him. Like, there was a point where he was really good, where he beat Rafael, Matthew Lopez, Mar the Moraes in the first fight, and Aljamain Sterling. Should have lost to Aljamain Sterling in that fight. Let's be real, but I just think Victor Henry will be too much here. And I like Victor Henry. Like, he beat Honey Barcelos. We just seen Barcelos he's not completely done. He just beat Trevin Jones 2 weeks ago. Or like a week and a half ago. Last UFC card, we'll just say. Last UFC card, he beat Trevin Jones, shut off Trevin Jones each and every round. And Victor Henry kind of just outclassed and out-scrapped Barcelos for 3 rounds. I'm going to trust him to beat Asansol. I think Asansol's kind of done at this point. 40 years old. Victor Henry, 35. Fair play. 5 years younger, but I think he knows his time's now. So I'm going to go Victor Henry. I'm going to trust him to win this one. Moving on up the card. Nick Maximov versus Jacob Malkoun. This card has a lot of weird fights. I'm going to be going with... I don't know. This is a weird one because I don't know if I can trust Maximov after that loss to Petrosky, but I don't know who wins. I'm gonna go Nick Maximov, I think, over Jacob Malkoun. I like Malkoun. I think he's very good, but I think Maximov can scrap more on the feet. I think he wants to push it more. You know, I think he wants to push it more for a career. I'm going to trust him to win this one. I mean, he's 24 years old, 27 years old for Malkoun. And yeah, Malkoun could have beaten Brendan Allen. We just seen how Brendan Allen looked against Jocko last fight card. But against AJ Dobson, like, struggling early on the feet. Can't really find the takedowns. Eventually got in the last 2 rounds, yeah. But Abdul Razak Al Hassan, you know? Like... I'm going to trust Maximov to get the better of the exchanges and win like a close 29-28 decision. And land bigger shots on the feet. I mean, again, he trains with Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz. So, and Nate's just coming off a great win. So, I'm going to go Maximov getting this one done. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a guillotine I wouldn't be surprised if we see lots of guillotine attempts in this fight. Or a finish even. But I'm going to go Maximov. Getting this one done by decision. Moving on up the card. Maximov, though. I want to speak more of him. Yeah, he did lose to Andre Petrosky. And that ain't a good look. But I think he kind of just fell into... I don't know what he was in that fight. But he looked good against Pinelli Soriano. Who's coming off a win. Same with Cody Brundage. Both of them beat Dolce Lungiambula. So, yeah. And Brundage is looking really good. I'm going to go... And I know he didn't look great against Brundage, but this is 50-51. I'm going to go Maximov, but it's close. It's going to be a close fight. That's what I'm going to say. Moving on up the card. Joanderson Brito versus Lucas Alexander, the replacement for Melsik Bagdasaryan. Now, this came on a couple of hours ago, and I don't really know too much about Lucas Alexander. But he's now in the UFC. He beat Jacob Kilburn, who was in the UFC before. He's kind of more of a later finishing guy. So I'm gonna go. Since he's taken on short notice, I'm gonna go with Joanderson Brito just to be safe here. But it's a close fight. But I'm gonna go with Joanderson Brito though, to get it done early TKO and take the back and get a rear naked choke. So yeah, I'm gonna go on Joanderson Brito, 27 years old. I think he'll beat Lucas Alexander. He beat Andre Fili, who's been looking pretty good. Beat Bill Algeo, who did beat Joanderson Brito. Just a little bit of a trio between both of them there, or all three of them there. But styles make fights. Beat Fili. I think he'll beat Lucas Alexander. Moving on up the card to the main card, Amanda Martinez versus Brandon Davis. I'm gonna go with Amanda Martinez over Brandon Davis. I think Brandon Davis is quite bad. Let's be real. I mean, winning against what's his name? Randy Costa isn't too good of a win. Let's be real. And he got put out by Dana Baccarel, which isn't a good sign again. Like, Baccarel is just losing a bunch of fights recently. And yeah, he beat lots of guys. He beat Josh Huber, who's 24-11, 24-29, Ray Trujillo, 4-0, Jonathan Island, and Brad Kelly, 5-3, which was split decision with him though. Brandon Davis is good, but I just don't think he's the same. Against Baccarat, he didn't look great, but he's an underdog here. I think he is, anyways. Yeah, he is. But Amanda Martinez is very good, very, very good fighter. Kind of dumb in some areas. I'll give you that. He is kind of dumb in some areas. Like, he does make it close against Guido Canetti, but we've just seen Canetti just beat Costa and Moutinho. You know, Canetti's looking good for himself. And that was a close fight. But yeah, he did lose to Ronnie Lawrence. But almost finished Lawrence. Very close fight. So unless Davis can heavy grapple here, don't see it going well. 29-28, Amanda Martinez gets the job done. Moving on up the card. Misha Sirkanov versus Alonzo Menifield. I'm going to go Menifield. Easy win, Menifield. First round KO. Misha Sirkanov is pathetic. He's so pathetic. Like, I'm not even joking around here. He's actually legitimately pathetic of a fighter. Like, who goes to a split decision with Christoph Jotko but loses first round armbar to Wellington Turman? You just see like he's getting worse each fight. Like against Span, you can say the power of Span was just too much. But then goes to a split decision with Jotko back at middleweight, moves down a weight class, then just loses to Turman. Like, I don't get Turman on short notice as well. He's supposed to fight Makhman Muradov on that same card. And it's just pathetic to me. And he beats Jimmy Crute. Ruins Jimmy Crute for good. Really annoying. So I'm going to go Menifield winning this one. I like Menifield. I think he's a good fighter. I think he is really good. I mean, to be fair, he lost to William Knight, but he arguably won that fight against William Knight. But he beat Ed Herman, Fabio Charant, Askar Mazarov. Like, he's a good fighter. And yeah, he lost to St. Preux and Clark, but I don't see Sirkanov out grappling him here. I'm gonna go Menifield. Easy first round TKO. Getting the job done. Moving on up the card to another fight. Dusko Drovic versus Jordan Wright. Oh, I'm gonna go Dusko, but I can sense a Jordan Wright put out cold KO. No, I can see Wright putting Dusko out cold. I really do sense it. I'm going to go Dusko, though. But it's risky. It is very risky. But I'm going to go Dusko, because he can swing as well, Dusko. He can swing as well, and he also has the ground game to fall back for. It's Jordan Wright didn't really have that. Like, he lost to Marc-Andre Barrios. Not the best. Lost to Bruno Silva. Lost to Joaquin Buckley. You know, not the best. Ike Villanueva, garbage. Same with Jamie Pickett. And I think you have to go with Dusko. And he also lost to Anthony Hernandez on the Contender Series, but Hernandez was on something. Dusko's good, man. He's a good fighter, Dusko Drovic. Like, he's very good. He lost to Chidi and Jaquani, but then beat Maki Pitolo. You know, he's not the great guys. Lost to Gregory Rodriguez. Lost to Pinelli Soriano, but he's good. He beat Daquan Townsend. He beat Mikhail Pahea back in 2018. I'm gonna pick him to out-grapple Jordan Wright and get the job done here. Moving on up the card and get like a first-round TKO to full mount. Moving on, Askar Askarov versus Brandon Royval. Askar Askarov for the win here. This is a long card, jeez, man. But Askar Askarov's gonna out-grapple Brandon Royval. I like Royval, I think he's good, but I think Askarov is just better in more areas. And I like Brandon Royval. I think he's a good fighter. Like, I really do hope he wins this fight. I mean, he beat Matt Schnell, who's looking good. Just beat Sumu Duerji. Should have lost to Bontarine, let's be real. But he made it decently close early on against Pantoja. And Moreno kind of beat him up there. And Kaikia France, he beat, kind of a fluke though, let's be real. Winner of this one should fight Merab. Because Merab is moving down to flyweight, right? Winner of this should fight Merab. Or Merab should just fight Kaikia France. But, Askar. Askar's good, man. He's a good fighter. And yeah. Lost to Kaikia France, but early on made it competitive enough to win the first round. But beat Benavidez, beat Pantoja, even though he should have lost Pantoja. But, beat, Elliott. Went to a draw for Moreno, but that should have been Moreno's win, in my opinion. This is what I think. Royval is good on the feet, maybe better than Askar on the feet, skill-wise. But on the ground, he's going to get out-grappled. And Royval, he has subs off his back. I understand guillotines here and there, triangles, twister he has on the regional scenes, ACB. But I don't care. I do care, but he's gonna get out-grappled and out-muscled. Moreno was able to do it. So I'm gonna go Royval getting this one. I'm gonna go Askar getting this one done. Moving on up the card to the co-main event. Jonathan Martinez versus Cub Swanson. I'm gonna go Martinez. But Swanson can KO him. But Swanson moving down to bantamweight, making his bantamweight debut. Maybe he's been there before, but way back then. I just think Martinez is going to be too slick here. On the feet, I mean, he beat Vince Morales, just scolded him for 3 rounds, chewed up his leg. Beat Alejandro Perez, scolded him for 2 rounds, got dropped early. See, this is the thing. If Swanson didn't get a first round finish, Martinez's win automatically. Right there, boom, done. You know, he beat Ziviad Levishvili. It's worrying because he could get KO'd and Grant KO'd him, but he's kind of found his rhythm with good 3 unanimous decision wins. And he's 28, and I like Martinez. I think he's a good fighter. I'm going to pick him to beat Cub Swanson. Yeah. He'll get dropped early, but I think last 2 rounds he'll come back and bounce back in a close unanimous decision win over Cub Swanson, who's just hasn't been looking the greatest. Like, yeah, he beat Darren Elkins, but then lost to Chikadze. You know? Lost to Chikadze. Beat Pineda. Beat Con Gracie. Then lose the other guys here in a 4-5 losing streak. Like, I don't trust him. I'm gonna go with Martinez here. Getting this one done. Moving on up the card to the main event. Alexa Grasso versus Viviane Araujo. Not a main event. I mean, this card was supposed to have Cannonier versus Strickland. That would have been way better for my content and my channel. This card was also supposed to have Magny versus D-Rod. Really? But I'm gonna go. This is a tough main event. Because this is how I see it going. Either Grasso, this is two ways I see it going. Either Grasso picks apart Viviane Araujo, pieces her up. Araujo can't find the takedown. Or Grasso just pieces her up and has a flawless 5-rounder victory. Maybe he even gets a finish. Who knows? Or I see Viviane Araujo eating the shots of Grasso. Grasso picking her apart, but she's also scrapping back. Shots to the body. Big winging haymakers, lands some shots, fakes into a takedown, fakes those haymakers into a takedown, takes down Grasso, beats her up, tries going for a rear naked, but beats her up over the 5 rounds. I see either of those two things playing out. Which one am I gonna lead? Which one am I gonna lean? I meant to say. I feel as though. Oh, it's such a tough fight, style-wise, but I need to get this done and over with. Don't care if I get this wrong at all. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Alexa Grasso, I think, here, man. No. Yeah, this is a tough one. Why is this the main event? It's 5 rounds. And Grasso pushed that hard. This is both 5-rounder first for both of them. I think Grasso, unless Grasso actually had a headliner before. I don't think she did at all. No, I don't think she did. So this is both first for both of them. Same, and Araujo didn't have a main event. But who's gonna? Oh, Grasso has no power in her shots. It's not like Araujo is gonna have to worry. And even if Grasso had power, Araujo has a decent chin and she's tough. I'm gonna go Araujo. I think Araujo will beat her. Grasso had a weakness in her ground game earlier in her career, and maybe that has been solved, and maybe she's improved it. But I think Grasso's gonna lose. I think she's gonna lose. She made her close against Macy Barber. And yeah, she has good grappling. We show that against Joanne Wood in that fight. But she had a weakness earlier in her career. Herrig beat her. Sparza beat her at moments. Tatiana Suarez destroyed her. I'm actually gonna go Araujo here. Viviane Araujo. 3rd round rear naked choke, I'm gonna say. Grasso maybe wins the first 2 rounds barely. 2nd round's either way. 1st round's hers. Slows down, beats up, gets beat up. Araujo gets the rear naked choke victory. Gets the job done. Araujo didn't. She did get outboxed by Chookagian, but Chookagian has weirdly good range, and that fight, let's be real, was a very, very close fight. Very, very close, and she beat Modafferi, De La Rosa, lost the eye. I really don't know how she lost the eye there, but yeah, I'm going to pick her to beat Grasso. She couldn't finish Lee, but that was a 3-rounder. I think she'll finish Grasso in the 3rd or 4th round. Rear naked choke victory. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm going to try to find content this week because I'm not making individual breakdowns for this card. I would have if Magny D-Raw was still on, but screw this card. Can't wait for 280. Every full card prediction, I'm going to say that. This is the last one till next week. And, yeah. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.